Hey everyone, so I decided to make a quick little video here, and this time it's not going to be much of a rant as it is more of a thought experiment. I want to talk about something a little bit more philosophical in terms of perspectives, as you can tell from the title. But what I mean by perspectives is how you view things. Like, have you ever thought to yourself how you view a single thing? Most people don't. They kind of just continuously, repeatedly continue on the same path without understanding why or how they got there. Like no one knows why they do what they do or how they do what they do. We've just been, in a sense, constantly following the flow of evolution, of technology, of constant advancement and civilization. So we've never really stopped to ask the question, why do we do what we do? And that's a pretty interesting question because when it comes down to it, when it comes down to the idea of why we do what we do, why we think like we think, it's all a matter of perspective. For instance, let's just imagine that all your memories are wiped clean. All your memories are wiped clean, and you're in a random room. Everything is white, but you don't know that because you don't know what white is. You've never heard that word. You've never heard that sound. You've never heard anything. You're just there. How will you know anything? How will you understand what is? You cannot relate anything to anything. You won't know if something is bigger. Oh, that's big. How would you know? You've never seen anything other than that one thing. It isn't until, of course, you put another thing to compare it to that you realize that there is a perspective basis. For instance, if I have a rock and I've never seen any other rock, I can just say that's a rock. But then you introduce a rock that's 3 times larger, I can easily see that that rock is bigger. So that rock is big, this rock is small. But then I find a super small pebble, and that rock is small. So then the one that was previously small becomes what? Medium size? If you continue doing this forever, you can just piece it into an infinite point if you'd want to. But the idea of perspective is that there is no one way to look at one thing. There is many ways to look at one thing. There's a cornucopia of things that you can look at, that ways you can look at it. That's just how perspective works. But people they struggle with these perspectives. They can't understand that any other perspective other than the one they're so common and so used to is any different than the one that I have. So because of the fact that it's different, it causes this cognitive dissonance, which if you don't know what cognitive dissonance is, I'll make a video about it later. But it causes cognitive dissonance to people. It messes with their minds. They can't accept anything other than what they've been told. They're troglodytes, honestly. But the idea is that it's not all their fault. Unfortunately, we were raised in a world that pretty much sustained people to be this way. So it's our parents' faults and our parents' parents' faults and our parents' parents' faults and the people who told our parents that in the beginning that was okay. But again, I digress. If you have any comments, go ahead and leave them down in the comment area below. I would be so happy to hear it, and maybe even topics that I could talk about. But until later, peace.